So, back for another episode of Believe in Boyt with this Buzzwall team. So, getting pretty close to Master. Just a few games away now. I need to make up the one I just lost. So, probably 3? Should be 3, right? Because it's normally 6 that you need to get up there. So, 7-1 would also make sense. That shouldn't be... I was going to say shouldn't be too difficult, but you never know at this stage in the ladder. But... how many games have we got left? We've got 6 games left, so need to go 5. If I go 4-2, that's not enough, probably. I think I need to win 5, maybe, at this point. It will depend. I just need 3 from now, but we will see. Okay. Interesting. So we're strongly assuming Moltres is weakness policy, given the Comfey. Interesting. My Rotom Wash is looking pretty good. Just need to be wary of the Rillaboom. Buzzwole is decent. Buzzwole is decent. If it gets into Trick Room, it is very decent. So I'm going to try and Trick Room, even if they go Stack Attacker. Buzzwole beats Stack Attacker even in Trick Room, so that should be fine. Don't think it's worth leading Buzzwole in case they leave Moltres, they can just airstream me immediately. So I might go Spectrier again with the intention of setting up Trick Room. Which is still odd, but here we are. I'm going to go Rotom, and Metagross is reasonable, but Buzzwole. So, there we are. Probably could have got away with a Rotom Wash lead as well, and maybe have Metagross over Spectrier, but that's fine. The Spectrier is baiting the Darkness into Spectrier to let me turn 1 Trick Room. That is what I'm hoping for, at least. Assuming there is a Moltres Comfey lead. But then Comfey could be having Trick Room as well. So, it's still a little bit awkward. He says as that might not even be the lead, but we will see. If it's Stack Attacker, that's a little bit more awkward, but I can Will-O-Wisp that turn 1. So I can Will-O-Wisp that turn 1. Is it going to be a Grassy Seed on the Stack Attacker? Because I've been thinking about that with Body Press. Is that what is going to be seen here? Let's see. There's the Grass Search. That was some lagging. Nope, no Grassy Seed on the Stack Attacker. Okay. So if I get rid of the Rillaboom, my Rotom is looking very good. Easily just be faked out. What's that? Buzzwole, and Buzzwole is brilliant against these two. Might be worth immediately switching into Buzzwole. And Will-O-Wisp being one of them. I think it's going to be the Stack Attacker. Because even though the Rillaboom is a bigger threat to my Rotom, one of the only threats to the Rotom, I think the Stack Attacker is a bigger threat overall. So Will-O-Wisping it would be nice. Okay, Eat. Man, I can get all that back with a Leech Life. There is the Will-O-Wisp. If this is going to be a Trick Room, that is not too bad. That is a Trick Room. And it's still weird that the Ultra Beasts don't have the opponents. That's still weird. I could have got away with just KOing the Rillaboom immediately that time, because they didn't fake out. But I'm going to try and... do I Flutterby instead? I reckon because they're burnt, I can definitely get away with a Leech Life, like, surely. And like I said, Rillaboom is the biggest threat to the Rotom, so if I can clear that out, then Rotom has a good time. And Stack Attacker being burnt means I'm not too concerned about it. They could double into my Spectrier with a Gyro Ball and a Grassy Glide, and that definitely could pick up the KO, but then Leech Life should KO the Rillaboom and free up my Rotom. And if they switch, then they can't KO the Spectrier this turn with the Stack Attacker, and then something gets double targeted with Leech Life and Shadow Ball. So I should be fine. Okay, they do switch, reserving for Rotom, makes sense, but Rotom, that's a reasonable switch in, to be fair, but you know, I'm gonna be getting a Shadow Ball into it. Okay, that did a bit more than I was hoping for, but I'm going to slurp some of it back with the Leech Life. That is respectable damage, for sure. And this is going to be even more respectable damage. Now, will my Buzzwole outspeed their Rotom or not? It is probably worth preserving at this point. I don't want to switch Nihilego on it on Gyro Ball, and then that would be opening my Rotom up to take a lot of damage. But then the Rillaboom has been preserved at this point, so I think I am going to switch into Rotom, even though it's going to take some chip. It won't be too much, hopefully. And then we'll Shadow Ball the Rotom again. Because they're definitely not going to Dynamax the Stack Attacker if they're burned. And the Rotom's taken a lot of damage, so Dynamaxing that isn't that ideal for them as well. Rillaboom definitely could be one. Probably the Pokemon that's not Rillaboom is the one that's going to Dynamax for them. So if this is an Overheat, then that's not too bad. If it's a double up in Spectria, I don't think that would KO, given the fact they're burned. They're attacking the Rotom, so that's good. And just a Thunderbolt. Fair enough. Like, you know, that's reasonable. And not quite Citrus Berry, which is a bit of a shame, but that's fine. And that was enough. Nice. So I get Grenade. So, they haven't touched my Spectria, have they? I might Dynamax my Spectria. So I'm at full health with Spectria, right? And I've got Helping Hand on my Rotom, so I can just go to town with the Spectria, even in Trick Room. Unless it's Moltres. Don't show me Moltres. But if it's Moltres, Rotom does reasonably well against that. If I get rid of the Stack Attacker as well now, that will open up my Nihilego. That's Rillaboom. That's fine. How many turns of Trick Room's left? There's 2 turns. Okay. Not ideal. But it could be worse. Because how much faith do I have in Spectria to Oko the Rillaboom? I'm not sure, but I'm going to switch out into Buzzwole. And I am going to Dynamax. Which one do I target? Because my Rotom's taken reasonable damage. It might be worth just KOing the Stack Attacker at this point to open up my Nihilego. I'm going to go for the Rillaboom to free up my Rotom. I am assuming they have Moltres in the back. And it may have been an idea not to pick up a KO this turn, because then my Spectria would get against the Moltres outside of Trick Room. And it will survive a Darkness, for sure. But after maybe some damage from Grassy Glides and stuff, maybe not. It's interesting that Spectria has been on the field in Trick Room the entire time and is still at full health and is Dynamaxing. So yeah, they did attack the Spectria smartly. Probably a Gyro Ball as well. Yep, that is reasonable. But because I Dynamaxed, I was able to survive, so that's not too bad at all. And that is going to be enough because of the Grenade, so I'm at +2 now. So if it is Moltres, they would surely outspeed my Buzzwole, right? I would strongly assume they would. Actually, no, I can just double up into the Stack Attacker, and I can Close Combat and Phantasm either with KO, and then Moltres is facing down full HP Nihilego, and I'm pretty sure Nihilego wins that. I just need to wait out the Dynamax and the Meteor Beam on the... It's Mamoswine. Well, I'm pretty confident with that. I can just Max Guard with the Spectria for sure. And I will just Close Combat. Which one? Which one would it be more beneficial to? Rotom can beat the Mamoswine. Rotom can beat the Stack Attack. I don't think it matters actually at this point which one I target. I'm going to go for the Stack Attacker because it's the least likely to have Protect, and I can just Max Guard here to guarantee that I'm out of Trick Room. And then I'll Phantasm KO one of them. Yeah, it's definitely going to be the Mamoswine that Dynamax, but that is fine. We'll see. Mamoswine should outspeed Buzzwole, right? I should be able to just Close Combat KO the Stack Attacker at this point. feeling pretty confident I can beat this Mammoth. This max guard should ensure it. Rock slide, so that's one way. Okay, that's no way, because this is guaranteed now. Flinches could have been bad. But that stack attacker is gone. They got burned immediately and they're just out on the field, doing okay damage, but not good enough. It's pretty much the description of Dusclops. So I get the attack boost, but I've got the defense drop, so I'll surely get KO'd to a Hailstorm. They smartly attack the Buzzwole. So that's a good play, but I don't think it matters at this point. Because Rotom somewhat walls the Mammoth one. I'm going to go for Helping Hand Phantasm, just to guarantee I get the hit. Good, it's not Assault Vest, Life Orb is preferable. So I can go into Rotom Helping Hand Phantasm, because Hydro Pump can miss, and then may have to rely on Hydro Pump or Meteor Beam, but we will see. They Hailstormed as well, which means they don't have a special defense boost, which is ideal. So I will go for Helping Hand. I'm at +2 on the... Not quite, no, that's Bulldoze. Don't want to do that. And that's not super great against Mammoth. I was thinking about Stack Attack for a second there, but yeah, it's definitely Phantasm. +2 Helping Hand Phantasm, I reckon just gets the Mammoth Swine even in Dynamax. I believe in Spectre. As I should. So, yeah, they just ignored this Spectre the entire time, and as soon as I got a Grenade, then I was sorted. So that was pretty good. And another step closer back to Master. Almost there. Almost there. Should be 2 games. I don't think it's 1, because I'll move the tiny bits just now. Interesting they didn't bring Moltres, considering I have a Buzzwole and a Metagross as well. Interesting they didn't bring Moltres, but they'll move the tiny bit here. Like the little... just like that. And then that, yeah, that's going to be 2 games, so... could definitely get it in this episode, but I think if I lose 1, then I can't. Because I'm doing 4 to make up for 2 yesterday. So there's 3 more after this one. That's quite a cool name. Okay, that is entirely reasonable. What do I want to do for this? Primarina puts me off going Trick Room. I want to Will-O-Wisp the Thundurus. Will-O-Wisp the Thundurus is generally my turn 1 play against that. Interesting they have T-Tar, Urshifu, and Primarina. Like, they've got crossover types there somewhere. Probably Dark. Buzzwole is fine, but can be airstreamed a reasonable amount. There's also the Primarina, which I don't do the best against. Rotom Wash is very good. I might just leave Rotom Wash Spectre actually and just try and Nasty Plot. Salamence is not too bad. I think I'm going to go Salamence. And no, I don't like Nihilego here. Metagross, not a big fan of, so let's go Buzzwole! And let's just stall out the Dynamax and then they have to fly my Buzzwole instead of Airstream it. Because they've got 2 mons that should be flying. Could be a Support Thundurus. Support Thundurus is still entirely reasonable. It got the buff of Eerie Impulse as well. And then just, it's not going to be used for support most of the time, which is quite amusing. Considering, like, Dynamic Speed, Thunder Wave drops immediately. Eerie Impulse, like, you know, and now it's going to be Defiant everywhere. Seems very odd. It's still entirely usable. And will catch people off guard, because they'll always be expecting the Defiant one. Just like I am now, and they're about to catch me off guard with their Prankster one. That's Entei Primarina, so that's not too bad. So what am I going to do here? Snarl Nasty Plot? I reckon it's Snarl Nasty Plot. And we will see what happens then. I also had to play Bulldoze and Hydro Pump the Entei. Because Bulldoze for the Metagross. I keep thinking, like, I was thinking immediately I want to Nasty Plot with both of them, because oh, I missed one. Okay, that's not the important one. Assuming there's physical Entei. They could be snarling themselves, but then that's not so bad. No, that's not the worst thing, because Rotom's going to end up at +1, and I can Bulldoze and Hydro Pump to Entei next turn. Maybe Geyser, depending on if they target the Spectre or Rotom here. If it's Moonblast into Rotom, I'm going to go with Hydro Pump. If it's Hyper Voice, then I may Dynamax the Rotom here. Because then that should get the KO on the Entei. It'll be a bit awkward if it doesn't, because then that'll get it back to neutral. But how much do I believe in Rotom? Because I am not a fan of the Hydro Pump. What did I hand it back? Buzzwole and Salamence. I want to preserve Salamence to the Dynamax, so I'm gonna try and believe in Rotom. I don't, but I mean, I want a regional with Rotom. I should believe in Rotom, but I do not trust Hydro Pump at all. Just give Rotom Skull, please. Can you imagine? Oh, this is good. This is good. That is acceptable. Because I can Will-O-Wisp that next turn. Let's see if I connect this Hydro Pump. And if it's enough, I would assume, even if it's Assault Vest. It's not Assault Vest, so it would be enough. So I just need to have Rotom be nice and accurate here. Well done, Rotom. Not bad. So that's a pretty good start. A big threat to Buzzwole is gone. I guess we'll never know, but I'm pretty sure I knew. Because it wasn't Assault Vest. But if I connect the Will-O-Wisp on Thundurus, I'll be looking very good. And if they have Landorus as well, then Buzzwole was not the play, but here we are. Primarina, that's fine. They'll be wanting to Airstream that faster than my Rotom, but if I connect the Will-O-Wisp, then Salamence is looking very good as a Dynamax late game. Because they surely can KO Rotom if I miss the Will-O-Wisp with a Lightning. And I'm pretty sure with the Citrus Berry I would be able to survive what they would throw at me otherwise. Because if it's a Lightning, they're not Airstreaming and I'll outspeed the Primarina. If they Airstream, then, you know, it's just a Moonblast at that point. So just need to connect the Will-O-Wisp. I've seen a few wide lens on Spectria, which is entirely reasonable because Will-O-Wisp sucks, but here we are. Spell Tag is a 20% boost, wide lens is a 7% boost. Like, objectively, Spell Tag is better. Odds-wise, like percentage-wise, and do connect. Nice. So this is good. It's going to be a Lumberry, which is not ideal, but that means it's not Life Orb, so I should survive this. Life Orb would have KO'd me. So that's going to set up the train, which doesn't help me because I'm levitating. But at +1, do I KO the Primarina? Because they didn't Airstream as well, that will give me the opportunity to go for another Will-O-Wisp. But this should KO the Primarina. +1, right? I would assume. I assumed correctly. So not bad. Just need to connect one more Will-O-Wisp, please. And it's Urshifu, okay. I had Buzzwole, which completely walls that, so I just needed to deal with the Thundurus at this point. What do I have? Salamence and Buzzwole. Salamence Oko's Urshifu through Focus Sash with Dual Wing Beat, which is lovely. Gives it a proper niche. But what's the way to do this? I reckon it is Will-O-Wisp the Thundurus, because there's no opportunity to Sucker Punch, and Salamence wins this, right? If I land the Will-O-Wisp, I'm pretty sure Salamence wins this. So I'm going to Thunderbolt the Urshifu to break a Focus Sash. And then that means that I can just KO with Airstream. Nice, they went for Sucker Punch and connect the second Will-O-Wisp, so I should be very sorted at this point. So can they KO the Rotom? They cannot. Wonderful. We will see if they go Choice Band or Focus Sash. We don't know. Maybe Assault Vest? Don't know. I don't think that would surely not be Assault Vest. It would probably take that a bit better. But I'm going to Will-O-Wisp the Urshifu to avoid a Sucker Punch again. I'm going to Helping Hand Will-O-Wisp, because that will avoid a Sucker Punch. That's an odd play, but there it was. So that would have gone into the Rotom. Nice, Helping Hand Will-O-Wisp, let's go. Actually the play. And actually landed all 3 Will-O-Wisps as well, not bad. But I'm going to win this with my Salamence and Buzzwole at this point. That was amusing. Like, it's a shame it doesn't tell you whether it went into Rotom or Spectria, but like surely it would have gone into Spectria. Not Spectria, into Rotom. So Helping Hand Will-O-Wisp was the play. And they find the Airstream, so they're going to be faster, but Urshifu's on a timer now. Is it better to have Will-O-Wisp and Helping Hand again? Not sure. Like, I'm pretty confident with 2 burn Pokemon and my Dynamax available, Salamence wins. I'm just trying to think if there's an optimal way. I'll Shadow Ball the Urshifu. I'll Thunderbolt the... But I don't really care if I get double KO'd here. Yep, fair enough. Helping Hand Will-O-Wisp. Let's go. That was actually the play. Worked out very well. Not bad. And should be 1 game away now. Should be 1 game. Oh, he has to check it out. Nice. Okay, reasonable. Pretty standard. Is that the Life Orb? Was it Assault Vest? It was Life Orb. It's policy standard. It was Choice Band. Fair enough, so we do get to find out. Poison Jab is better than Iron Head. And Thunder Punch is better than Poison Jab. But they have Iron Head. Because, you know, Water Fairy types need to be hit super effectively by either Poison Jab or Thunder Punch. And they were safe to go with some Pre-Marina. Interesting. That's not the item choice I would have gone with. But Pre-Marina is a good choice. I'm very happy that they went Pre-Marina over Finny. They know what they're doing. Because we established how good Pre-Marina was, and then it just got abandoned for Finny, even though Pre-Marina can literally set its own Misty Terrain now. But it should be just Bobby standing in the way of Master. So Salamence is very good against Sun. If they don't Sleep Powder, of course, but if they don't Sleep Powder, Salamence is very good against Venusaur or Torkoal. Is that the way to go, though? Because they could just be leading Landorus. I think I might be going Spectria Salamence here. Because if they do go Landorus, I can Will-O-Wisp it. You just have to see if they go for Sleep Powder though. But if they do, then I'm snarling the Torkoal and the Venusaur, and then that wouldn't be the worst thing, but it would still be annoying. But still doable. Buzzwole is okay. It's good against 3 of them. It's good against a Rillaboom, against the Metagross, if it doesn't have Zen Headbutt, and the Venusaur somewhat. I like Rotom Wash. Metagross is fine. If I'm having this debate, it's Buzzwole because Buzzwole. So let's see. Hoping they don't need Anorus so that I can get the full power Salamence going. So I don't want them to intimidate me, but I can just Moxie it back up at some point. Yeah, just talk about Venusaur. So is this going to be a Sleep Powder? So like I said, I'm going to go for Airstream and Snarl. If they Dynamax, then that is okay. If they Sleep Powder, they're going to miss. And if they do Sleep Powder, then they're being snarled. So, either way, wouldn't be the worst thing, it'd just be annoying. And I haven't seen many people turn 1 Sleep Powder as well. A lot of people are just going for the Gigantamax immediately. Oh, they are Sleep Powdering! Oh no! Oh no! Alert! So it looks like they're that guy. Imagine being 1 game away from Master, and then you have to face Sleep Powder. So let's see. Hoping they don't need Anorus so that I can get the full power Salamence going. Well, they go for the Spectria. Okay. That's interesting. Are they going to be Focus Sash? They're not Cobra. That is not Focus Sash. Interesting turn 1 play. The Salamence could very easily be sweeping at this point. Unless they're yawning with the Torkoal. Hope they're not yawning. But I'll still be able to get a +1 max move off. There's a Heat Wave. Just don't burn. And that looks like it would be Specs to me. So what's it going to be? So I can ignore it with the Salamence. I can attack whatever comes in. Spectria can wake up. It's taken its guaranteed sleep turn as well. Metagross, okay. So if Spectria wakes up, that's ideal. I don't want to Quake it. Might Quake the Torkoal. Is that which is stronger? 140, 210, 110 doubled to 220. And Wormwind doesn't matter for the Metagross because of Clear Body. So I'm going to try and Will-O-Wisp so I don't activate a weakness policy with the Shadow Ball. And Quake, even though it's base 110 from Bulldoze, it is technically, not even technically, it's stronger against the Torkoal. I guess they could have switched to Tornadus, but they didn't, so that's okay. Be annoying if they have Zen Headbutt, because otherwise Buzzwole does okay against the Metagross. And ideally, I would wake up turn 1 with Spectre. If I do and hit the Will-O-Wisp, I should be very sorted. If I don't, then not ideal, but could be worse. Okay. I will absolutely take that, because I did not wake up. So, that's pretty good. Will this KO? Because I'm +1. But Torkoal's a beast. Not beastly enough. So, that was a good turn. I'm very happy with that turn. Because now, Spectria could have been KO'd. Salamence could have been KO'd to a Hailstorm as well. So, yeah. Not bad, not bad. Now I'm +2 with the Salamence, so I'm going to be doing some very good damage to whatever comes in. I'm pretty sure I'm attacking that. Could be Tornadus in the back. If it is, then they're probably going to be able to... No, it's Rillaboom. Oh, I'm just going to bomb that. And then Rotom Walls the Metagross standard set, so definitely just Airstreaming KOing this Rillaboom. Maybe even through Protect. I'm not sure, but either way. So I'm just, again, just going to Will-O-Wisp into the Metagross. I'm confident in Salamence's ability to KO this Rillaboom. Okay, Grassy Glide, that's probably going to KO the Spectria. But that's fine, because Airstream will KO the Rillaboom, and then I'm 2v1 again. I'm assuming they're Hailstorming. Then I'm 2v1 against this Metagross with Buzzwole and Rotom Wash. I'm going to be very confident that I can win that 1v2. 2v1. 2v1 is the right way around. And if they don't Hailstorm, they have like Rock Slide or something, maybe that won't KO. Hailstorm definitely will. That's Hailstorm, so definitely gone. And they could have done that last turn, and they did not, so excellent. Because I also could have switched into Buzzwole. It was a pretty reasonable Grassy Glide, but it's fine. Pretty confident in Buzzwole and Rotom. So I can go for a nasty plot here. We'll see if they got coverage for Rotom. The coverage being Zen Headbutt. Because standard set, because they've got Protect and Ice Punch, and surely you have Stealing Ground, so Rotom Walls all three. We'll also see who's faster between the Rotom, Buzzwole and Metagross, because all could be the fastest Pokemon on the field at this point. So I'm going to Nasty Plot. I'm going to Leech Life. Don't need to get the defense drops. And the healing will be nice. They are faster, and they do have Zen Headbutt. Well, that's changed things dramatically. What move? They must have dropped Stomping Tantrum then. Why would you not have Stomping Tantrum? Like, Iron Head, Zen Headbutt, and Ice Punch isn't good enough coverage. So that is not ideal, especially because they're faster. At least they don't have Max Mindstorm, But I reckon I need to Hydro Pump at this point, and even then, maybe not enough. So I was feeling super confident there, and now I'm not at all. So I'm definitely regretting not switching out the Spectria. Like, that was obvious. But I was feeling overconfident then. It's got to be Hydro Pump. Then Headbutt connects. Shouldn't KO, but will two-shot. Could flinch. Come on, Rotom. Odds are not great here. Okay, odds were not in my favour. They can still miss. They can still miss a Zen Headbutt, but that is not ideal, because I was feeling way confident in that endgame. And then I should not have been. Zen Headbutt is pretty uncommon on Metagross at this point. It's still an entirely reasonable move, and was obviously the play here, but that is not ideal. I should have absolutely switched out the Spectre into Buzzwole. Looking back, there was no reason not to at that point. But I was just feeling too overconfident. Especially because Zen Headbutt is so uncommon. But got one more game. Gonna end up one away from Master, of course. If I win this next game, which, you know, may not happen based on the last game. Can find all manner of things here. No Stomping Tantrum doesn't give you great coverage, but that's a Raikou and an Umbreon. Did you know that Raikou has Scald now? Like, that is so random, but Raikou has Scald. And that definitely gives it like a proper niche. Like, Thunderbolt Scald Calm Mind is entirely reasonable. But my Spectria does not outspeed a Cinderace. So, and it doesn't outspeed a Raikou. Because Raikou is not the most common Pokemon, so didn't factor that in too much. But, Buzzwole is pretty reasonable here. I'm definitely bringing Buzzwole. Metagross, again, it's kind of okay. Could be better. Nihilego is okay. Salamence, I'm bringing Salamence. I think I'm going to leave Spectria Salamence again. And then have... Yeah, I'll have... will I have Rotom? Yeah, I'll have Rotom Buzzwole. Bring the same four as last time, which lost, but could have easily won if I'd have just switched out into the Buzzwole. That was definitely an oversight from me. And even then, like, I'll be looking up the Hydro Pump calc after the match, after this match as well on the Metagross, because flinching is unfortunate. But Hydro Pump may not have even KO'd. It would have been close, because they outsped me, so they're not going to have... They will not have had much bulk. But I am absolutely switching Spectria out into the Buzzwole at this point, and I reckon I'm just going for dual Wing Beat. Because Umbreons love to yawn, they love to foul play if I Dragon Dance, so I'm just going to switch out into Buzzwole and dual Wing Beat the Rillaboom. That should KO, and then Rotom should be freed up a bit. So is it going to be a fake out? There's no fake out, and then again, smart, preserve your answer to Rotom. Okay, they're intimidating the Buzzwole, which is not ideal. But I'll get a dual Wing Beat, hopefully, into the Landorus. Okay, that's not great damage. Could be better. Is it going to be a yawn or a foul play? It is a yawn. Because that's not ideal, because what I want to do is Airstream and Ice Punch the Landorus at this point. Like, that seems super odd, considering I'll be wasting at least one turn, maybe both of my turns to Dynamax afterwards. But if I get an Airstream with the Buzzwole, then I should be okay. So this seems quite odd. But I reckon I can get away with this. Okay, so they were Scarf Landorus, because they are Dynamaxing before me. Scarf Landorus sucks, don't use it. But here we are. So this is going to work out actually pretty well, because I reckon not even reckon, surely I KO Landorus from that HP with Airstream and Ice Punch, so I'm pretty content with my play. Like, even if they yawn the Buzzwole at this point, getting rid of Airstream from Landorus will really free up my Buzzwole, even if it's effectively sacrificing my Dynamax. And I'll have also got an Airstream on the Buzzwole. So, this may seem odd, but I think it's the play. Assuming I KO the Landorus, which I'm confident I do. But we will see. Oh, they really committed. So hopefully, this combination will KO. I'm pretty confident in Buzzwole. And Buzzwole's going to get back to neutral as well. So it'll be at +1 speed and back to neutral. So I'll be able to deal with the Umbreon pretty well. And they didn't yawn the Buzzwole, which is what I was expecting, but very nice. So, worth. Like, I trade my Dynamax for theirs, effectively. Because, you know, they wasted theirs. I'm going to sacrifice at least one of my turns, if not both, with the Salamence. But I think that is an entirely reasonable trade. Because Rillaboom does not beat the Buzzwole. Has to be the last Pokemon that can beat the Buzzwole at this point. That can beat Buzzwole, for sure. So I'm going to preserve. I'm going to switch out into Rotom or Spectria. My Buzzwole does not outspeed a Cinderace. It's definitely worth preserving the Buzzwole, because it beats Umbreon and Rillaboom. I think it's going to be Rotom. And I will just burn my turn at Dynamax. And we will see if I wake up next turn. And if I do, then I can just KO the Cinderace and be sorted. And even if not, then I can still do a lot of damage with Outrage or... I could have Bulldozed, I guess, but... Oh, dodged, so I could have stayed in with Buzzwole. Got a crit, so I can survive another one. That's good. So I'm just going to go for the 100% accurate move at this point. Because they're not going to Pyro Ball, they're going to do something else. And I'm going to Airstream the Cinderace as well in case it switches into Rillaboom and I get the first turn wake. But they don't switch, they're going for Helping Hand, so could be something like High Jump Kick to KO the Rotom, which definitely would KO. Salamence stayed asleep, which is not ideal, but it is High Jump Kick. And they do connect this time, because they actually change type. But that means that they are definitely open to Airstream at this point. It's just Life Orb, so that's okay. So it's definitely Spectria. We'll see if Salamence wakes up. If it does, wonderful. If it does not, starting to get awkward. So I will go for Shadow Ball. I will go for Dual Wing Beat into Cinderace. Don't think Dual Wing Beat would KO High Jump Kick. Not KO High Jump Kick. KO a fighting type Cinderace. And then have to Sucker Punch to KO the Spectria, which wouldn't be the worst thing. Would that even KO? No, that would KO their Life Orb. I stay asleep. That's not good, because Foul Play will KO me now. They went for Pyro Ball. So... But that's not good. That's really not good. So I did say I thought it was a worthwhile trade, but this needs to KO the Cinderace now, and I'm pretty confident it will not. That did not. And the Foul Play will KO the Salamence. It did not KO the Salamence. Okay. In this then. So that means I can double up into the Cinderace again. They should preserve it. They should switch out into Rillaboom. They really should. But what can I do to punish that? Nothing, really. Because if I switch out Salamence, I lose my speed drop. Speed boost, not speed drop. So I do need to just double the Cinderace at this point. Is it worth just going for Bulldoze? Because I am... Did Grassy Terrain disappear? It did. So I could avoid the dual Wing Beat miss. Outrage could hit the Umbreon. Bulldoze will KO the Cinderace, but this covers the Rillaboom switch a bit more. Don't like it though. Okay, good. So Buzzwole should win now. So they didn't switch out, so should be okay. So they can only KO one, so I'll keep one of them. No, I won't. I'll lose both, but I should be able to leech life my way to victory at this point. Okay, necessary chip. That won't matter. Just Snarl, that should KO. That did. So Snarl, Foul Play, Yawn, and Helping Hands. So that is pretty reasonable. So Buzzwole against Rillaboom and Umbreon. They do have Yawn, but I still should be okay. Like, really should be okay. If they fake out and Yawn, not ideal. I'm content with Buzzwole over Metagross at this point for sure. But I don't think I KO the Umbreon with just a close combat, but I reckon I will at +1. So I'm going to Leech Life the Rillaboom. We'll see if they fake out and Yawn or if they are banded or whatever. They're banded, so that's not too bad. Like, surely only Acrobatics would win at this point. And what would they be to... They're not Grassy Seeds, so... Even if they fake out Yawn and have Protect on Rillaboom as well, then should still be okay. Okay, no fake out. I'm faster than Rillaboom as well, so... Didn't Oko, but that's okay. Oh, Swords Dance doesn't really help. It will if they have Protect. They just have to not have Protect. Like, even if they're Yawning at this point, Buzzwole, even though it's going to get +1 for KOing the Rillaboom, and they're going to get the +2 Grassy Glide into Buzzwole, I'll get some HP back. We're still in grassy terrain as well, actually, so I will be recovering a bit more as well. They had Protect. That is not ideal. They could definitely win this now, because I'm going to sleep. How much does this do? Okay, didn't think it would do too much, but that could still be too much. Depends how strong the Rillaboom is. But I just need to wake up at any point. So, would they be able to KO me in 3 turns? I don't know, it's a Buzzwole. Come on. But Protect is very uncommon. Like, Swords Dance and Protect on Rillaboom is very uncommon. Seeing the uncommon sets here coming into play. Helping Hand +2, so it's effectively at neutral. What is this? It's high horsepower. That's not going to do too much. Oh, that did too much. Oh, I reckon I get KO to another one of those and then a Grassy Glide, so I should wait and should... Well, not should. I need to wake up right now. Yes, please. Buzzwole. Salamance's got the 3 turns. You don't feel sleepy as well, do you? Don't know why they're not Grassy Gliding, because that's better than the high horsepower, but... Come on, Buzzwole. Buzzwole. This is important. Yes. Well done, Buzzwole. Well done. Okay, so that was scary. I'm still very content with my choice to Airstream and sacrifice my Dynamax to get rid of theirs, because Landorus could have become an issue, but I'm content with my choice. But definitely got scary at the end there. And I can just close combat to KO this Umbreon. I'm pretty confident that will KO. Like, +1 is going to be very strong. Excellent. So, end up 1 game away from Master. Pretty sure. Wonderful. But there's 1 more episode to go. So, maybe Buzzwole will be able to reach Master. It's going to be close, but assuming I don't lose the next game, I should be reaching Master. So... Pretty sure, actually I can just see, right? I can do continue battling but then stop. Or I can quit battling and just go on to ranked. Nope, don't want to update singles, don't care about singles. I am never playing singles again. I did that for the BP before and I did not enjoy it at all. So no update there, but should be just the tiniest bit away from Master. That should be one game. And if I do 3 games, 2-1 should get me there as well. So, should be one game away.